Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel.
It wasn't long after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed fears to his cabinet that the UN and international community would continue to take biased action against the Jewish state that the 2017 United Nations Human Rights Council officially welcomed their new member states. Among the newer members is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a country who was given a 3 out of 40 for political rights and a 7 out of 40 for civil liberties by the independent watchdog Freedom House. According to a 2016 report by the Human Rights Watch organization, Saudi Arabia, quote, continued to try, convict, and imprison political dissidents and human rights activists solely on account of their peaceful activities. Systematic discrimination against women and religious minorities continued, and as in past years, authorities subjected hundreds of people, including children, to unfair trials and arbitrary detentions. Seemingly in line with Saudi Arabia's record, the Human Rights Council, rather than going after legitimate abusers, has resolved more resolutions against Israel than the rest of the world combined, and all that since its founding in 2006. That includes Syria, North Korea, Cuba, etc. In fact, in June of its founding year, the Council voted to make a review of alleged Israeli human rights abuses a permanent feature of each Council session. It's the only permanent item on the list. As pointed out by UN Watch's Hillel Neuer, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is joining good company, as the new 2017 UNHRC membership also includes Venezuela, China, Cuba, Iraq, Qatar, Burundi, Bangladesh, and the United Arab Emirates. An Israeli government delegation has signed a final agreement with the Chinese Ministry of Trade and the Chinese Association of Contractors to bring thousands of professional Chinese construction workers to Israel. As of now, the new quota calls for 20,000 workers, with 6,000 scheduled to arrive in Israel in the first 6 months of 2017. The Chinese authorities will be responsible for selecting the workers sent to Israel through special companies established for this purpose. Finance Minister Moshe Kahlon said that the agreement, which will be formally signed at the end of February in Jerusalem, was negotiated over the last 18 months and will provide a boost to solve the housing crisis. Housing and Construction Minister Uri Ariel said that the housing market in Israel has suffered over the last few years because of a lack of manpower, and that this agreement will bring new technology and a skilled workforce. A Palestinian Arab UN worker accused of aiding the Hamas terrorist organization was sentenced to 11 months jail on Wednesday, in a plea deal which will see him released soon. Wahid Bosch, an employee of the United Nations Development Program, was convicted of providing services to an illegal organization without intention. The Justice Ministry confirmed the plea deal, saying that it also included 8 months probation. Bosch, who worked as an engineer for the agency, was suspected of having been instructed by a senior Hamas official to conduct his work in the UNDP to enable Hamas to gain the maximum benefit from it. Bosch, who was arrested in July, is expected to be released on January 12th due to time already served and good behavior. A separate case still ongoing is that of Mohammed al-Halabi, head of the Gaza branch of the World Vision NGO, who is accused of diverting millions of dollars in aid to Hamas. The Hebrew University of Jerusalem has set up a team of legal and technological experts to confront the new digital world and cyber warfare. The aim of the project is to enhance Israel's leading position in the world, not only in cybersecurity, but in cyber law as well. The group of researchers will deal with topics such as the responsibility of the state regarding cyber offenses, how to define the right to privacy in the cyber world, and what characterizes cybercrime and cyber terror. The idea is to set out a legal framework that can be adopted, and where necessary adapted, by countries around the world as a basis for the new cyber reality. Some research centers in the US are doing similar work, but none have taken on the wide spectrum of legal and extra-legal subjects that Hebrew University team is planning to tackle. President Rivlin told Jewish representatives that he strongly opposes contacts between his country's officials and European parties with a history of anti-Semitism. Rivlin's comments were sent in a letter to the Vienna Jewish community in response to a message from its head, Oscar Deutsch, and World Jewish Congress Vice President Ariel Musikant, in which they criticized Israeli politicians willing to meet with members of the European far right. The letter by Deutsch and Musikant cited Austria's Freedom Party, which was founded by a former Nazi SS officer. In his response, Rivlin said he will never condone meetings between representatives of Israel and European parties of the far right that are tainted with a history of anti-Semitism, Holocaust denial, or the promotion of racial hatred or intolerance.
That's all for now. Tune in to ILTV for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you tomorrow with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.